Is there anything that gets the juices flowing like a rivalry game? And our matchup is bitter. It has barbs and shots thrown on and off the field over the years. Welcome to the home of the Penn State Nittany Lions, Beaver Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania. And the Buckeyes will get us started with the opening kickoff. Fielded in the end zone, it's Davis. He's brought down at the 16, would have been much better off to take the touchback. So Penn State's offense will have the ball first. Last time these two got together, it was the Buckeyes dotting that I and getting a close one.
There are NFL dudes all over the field. It's not about the X's, the O's. It's the Jimmies and the Joes. Which players make the big plays today determines this one.
And Ohio State has had the upper hand, and Penn State really wants to break through. They want to make their statement. They want to shoot their shot and beat the Buckeyes.
On the run, it's Turner. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And the defense was locked in. You could tell they saw it. They reacted right away. Got the running back on the ground immediately.
They'll send the back in motion. Looking for a man. It's Sorsby. Pressure coming. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the hit. A nifty pickup there.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
A 3rd and short coming from their own 20-yard line. From the gun, wants to pass. He put it out there for him, and the senior gave him a chance, but they couldn't make the connection. The Nittany Lions will try to pin them back with the punt. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. Wants to bring it back. Little pressure on the coverage team there, and they'll stop him at the 47-yard line. The Buckeyes offense will get the ball for the first time. We've had a few receivers win the Heisman in recent years. Devontae Smith was special. Travis Hunter on a different level, playing both ways. But what does it take for a receiver to receive this type of Heisman hype, Jesse?
Well, you have to keep making plays when everybody in the world knows the quarterback's throwing you the football, and that's what those Heisman Trophy winners were able to do. You think back to guys like Desmond Howard. He stepped up whenever he had an opportunity on the biggest stages, and that's what this guy has to do today.
Well, and that's for everybody, right? Down the stretch when it matters most, you have to be elite, but for a receiver, it's hard because you're dependent on a quarterback. He's got to get you the football, but making those big splash plays throughout a season, and listen,
brings him to the open. And he gets it down to the 4-yard line before he's finally stopped. A terrific run after the catch.
And this defense is figuring out early in this football game, man. They've got to be dialed in because this passing attack, it's lethal because they get it to their speedsters, and after the catch, they're really good. Got to tighten up that coverage and get those guys on the ground when they catch the football.
They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And it feels good to land that first big punch against a rival, doesn't it?
No doubt. In a game like this, too, you just want to be executing at a high level early. So, David, that's got to feel great getting on the board first.
And settles everyone down. All the nerves, all the emotion of this rivalry game. Now everybody can kind of settle in because you know you already got a touchdown on the board.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down. The margin for error is so small in this conference, it's really imperative to get off to a good start in Big Ten play.
Especially, Reese, since you're adding so much talent now to this conference. But, yeah, year in and year out, you know the mainstays in this conference, but there's always some surprises, and I'll be interested to see how everybody starts off this season. Listen, this is your first opportunity, Palmer, in conference play, in a major conference, obviously in the Big Ten, to make your first statement.
And it's going to be taxing all season long for these players. Physically, obviously, and you expect that in the Big Ten Conference. But now adding all those West Coast teams, these guys are going to be flying back and forth across the country.
And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line. The Nittany Lions will call on their punt team. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. He gets it away from his own end zone. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain. Guys, let's talk for a minute about Ohio State. Every team needs those big dudes up front, and, man, they got a mauler from the high school recruiting ranks. Big 4-star D lineman. David, what's his adjustment going to be like?
Well, you see the excitement from the fan base and the reaction. It's all over the place, and you understand why. Because just being able to have that size at that position, play the defensive line, is so important for these college teams. He'll fit right in.
I thought white noise was supposed to be relaxing. This is deafening on 3rd down. Looking downfield, it's St. Clair. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Buckeyes will punt this one away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Sends his first one of the day on its way, and that matches the number of appearances he had in that win last week.
This punter is such a weapon. And because he's able to get that ball down deep in his opponent's territory, that really helps out the defense. You're now forcing the opponent to drive the field to score points.
To the ground with the back. Pushes ahead for a couple. They'll mark it at the 10.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Got 3 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 7. Wide receiver going in motion. Off the bootleg and rolling out. That type of pressure on the quarterback, that's vintage Ohio State, right in keeping with the legacy that's been established by the Buckeye D.
Yeah, and you take pride in that. You own that legacy with all those guys you see performing at a high level in the NFL. Man, you see that, you want to go get it, recruiting guys to fit those profiles. That's why Ohio State always has a good defensive line.
He is denied, cannot get to the 1st down marker, and it's 4th down coming. The Nittany Lions will line up to punt it away. They'll look to pin him deep. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They had to punt it away on their last possession, but, man, what great field position this time.
I mean, this is awesome. Like, last possession didn't go great. Now you're set up in an opportunity to get some points, start thinking about what plays I like, Jesse, as I cross the 50.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there, David, and in this position, they like to take a shot right away and try and capitalize on this field position.
And those two couldn't make the connection. It's an incomplete pass.
I love the job here by the linebacker. He just kind of floats, and he's shuffling, and he's waiting to see which way the quarterback's going to go with the football. Not able to snag it out of the air, but, hey, batting it away, it's a big-time play.
Back to throw, it's St. Clair. Grabbed in the middle, it's Smith. He'll come through on 3rd downs. He's got enough, and they'll mark it at the 23. The Buckeyes have it with a 1st and 10. Motion from the wideout. He's going to run it. Turning it on. How about this sophomore learning when to just do it himself?
It's such a good sign for your offense when your quarterback is this dialed in early in the game, right? On the RPO, wanted to throw it, nobody open, so he takes off running it himself and gets a big gainer. If I'm the coordinator and play caller, I'm finding more ways to get this guy running the football and keep this defense on their heels.
And this offense shows they will be aggressive. On 1st and goal, they get the completion. Listen, games come down to executing in the red zone. This is a big spot.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Back to pass. Trying to barrel in. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch.
I like the aggressiveness by this defense. You've got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You've got to be aggressive, and you've got to make tackles.
3rd and goal, and let's see if they can even operate in this noise. Slams it ahead. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Ohio State.
And the running back gets his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. You want to continue to feed this guy. You can tell he's got a nose for the end zone, knows how to get in there, knows how to make things happen.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the run from inside his own 5. The coverage team maintains his discipline, not much doing on that return. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. They haven't exactly burst out of the starting blocks, and they need to get something together with this possession. To the air, it's Sorsby. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
And I think on that last play, that's an example of the quarterback trying to predetermine who he wants to throw to, and instead of letting the defense dictate who gets the ball. Man coverage, that guy was not open that time out on the perimeter of the field. Still, he gave him a chance, but that thing had incompletion written all over it from the moment the ball left his hand.
On defense, man, it helps you a lot when you can be a linebacker or a corner or safety, anybody, and you see the QB throw the football. Now I can break on the football right away and limit gains like right here on this play.
And with that effort, they pick up a fresh set of downs. They have it at the 34-yard line. They've got a 1st down here to open the period. Well, guys, Ohio State has the lead here. They came out and jumped on them early in the 1st. Let's take a break and look at the 1st quarter stats. Now the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the 2nd. Lining up from the 34 on 1st down. Use the play fake, now to throw. Grabbed behind the line, it's Turner. You know, sometimes even a short game like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
Just not quite able to make the connection. It's incomplete.
And that's such a difficult thing to ask your quarterback, to run the RPO, stick it in the belly of the running back, turn, throw it really, really quickly. And you could tell maybe rushed it a little bit too much, and that was the reason there was an inaccurate throw.
Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Looking to pass, it's Sorsby. Quickly out to the tight end. Finds enough room to get it up to the 44 before he's knocked out of bounds. And the Nittany Lions will send out the punt unit. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. Fair catch is signaled for and made. They'll mark it at the 12, and they'll start in a bit of a hole. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They've already put a couple of scores up, and they look to add to it on this drive. They'll try to put something together, backed up a bit, starting at their own 13. Almost intercepted. It'll fall incomplete. The defense almost came up with a turnover. So now it's 2nd and long. Rides the back and leaves it on the option. That hole closed quickly, a pickup of 1 to the 15. Let's talk just for a second about Ohio State. This is exactly how you want to start conference play. Early in the race for sure, but precisely the type of foundation you need to set.
And this is really the meat on the bone in the schedule, right? A lot of teams have out-of-conference games early in the season, but now is where it matters the most. You talk to any coach, they'll tell you, David, number one on the goal sheet is to win your conference.
And I think it's so hard because of the familiarity. You play these same teams every single year. You know them inside and out. They know your scheme, you know their scheme, and sometimes the momentum of the moment can be tough, so got to continue to play well within the conference.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. We saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
Well, obviously, at this point in the first half, the defense is finding themselves in a hole. You just get the feeling if they're going to get back in this, they're going to need more plays like that. They're going to need sacks. They're going to need turnovers. They're going to have to create negative plays to get themselves some momentum.
On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Pass is incomplete, but a lot of contact there. I think it's going to be pass interference and a first down.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referee's caught it.
And the Buckeyes will have it 1st and 10. Gives it on the option. Got enough for the first down and wants more. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34.
That's a really nice run right there. And one of the things I love about him, he runs with such physicality and with the toughness. Do you think Woody Hayes, the great Ohio State coach, would have loved to have this guy in his backfield? His running style just marries so well with that. When you think about Ohio State and their tradition at running back, right? With all the athletes they've had throughout the decades, this guy was meant to play in the shoe.
Plows through the defense. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. The Buckeyes pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. Dropping back, it's St. Clair. Here's the pressure. And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete.
And there's an example of what happens when the quarterback doesn't have a chance to set his feet. The pressure just forced him to have to work off schedule a little bit. And I think because of that, wasn't able to be as accurate as he wanted to be.
He stopped for no gain again. Back-to-back runs, and they have nothing to show for it except facing a 3rd and long. The decibel meter's about to explode. One of the great environments, wide-out level noise. Tight end finds a soft spot. Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one. The Buckeyes have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him.
And running really has been the key on this drive, guys. Lots of success right there. They generate another explosive.
Sneaks it into the end zone. No midseason doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in Week 6.
They have been road warriors here in this game, coming into a tough environment, but in all 3 phases, they have been absolutely dominant. Their defense is not allowed a point, and the offense is going up and down the field, and they score another touchdown here before the end of the first half.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. They're looking at a 21-point hole. There's still time to do some work, but there's also no time to waste. Wide receiver comes in motion. Off play action on 1st down. Snagged in the middle. It's Reynolds. Look at that toughness, just running through everybody.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got to be able to score points on this drive.
They've got him now, and he almost picked up that first down on the screen. We're at the 2-minute timeout, and these guys really need to build a little momentum to cut into this lead before halftime. The Nittany Lions with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Power football with the run. Makes the tackle right at the 28-yard line. Pick up a 5, and they'll move the sticks. They have been stagnant on offense, but finally a little forward movement as they've got a 1st and 10. Back to throw, it's Sorsby. Fires deep toward the end zone. Intercepted. Oh, what a play. Looking for more room. He'll go out of bounds, but he gets the ball back, takes it the other way, and he has created a great sudden change opportunity. They'll try to put a drive together starting from the 36. Looking to throw on 1st down. He uncorks one deep. And the DB right with him to knock it away. These two Blue Bloods really didn't become rivals until Penn State joined the Big Ten in the early 90s. But really, since then, Ohio State has been a bit of a measuring stick for Penn State.
I think we always talk about Penn State, and we talk about winning the big games, and how do they play against Ohio State, a big rivalry. Palmer, it seems like they're always there. They're always in the game, but do they find a way to break through and win this rivalry?
Yeah, it's always so close, too. You think back to...
Looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes! They went for it all, and it paid off with the score.
You talk about going on the road and making a statement. 27-0. Hostile environment be danged. You talk about home field advantage. Well, it hasn't worked. They have come in and had answers and started this first half as good as you possibly can.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Conference USA action right now, fellas. Wait till you see how things are playing out. Oklahoma State is ahead early in Stillwater, but that's not exactly Barry Sanders or Thurman Thomas out there. This game is a long way from over. They're up by 7 over Baylor. We'll keep you updated as this one goes forward in a game that could shake up the CUSA race significantly.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. They'll get this drive going from the 17. Here comes the heat. Pressure in his face, and he lets it fly. That one falls out of bounds, incomplete.
And I think a big reason this offense is struggling right now and why they're trailing on the scoreboard is they have not been able to protect this guy, and it's affected him. He has not looked very accurate. Moving forward, the pass pro has got to be better to help this guy out.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Back to throw, it's Sorsby. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover.
Well, that's a huge moment here in the game at the end of the first half because the offense is trying to march down the field. They're trying to cut into the opponent's lead. But with that interception and with that return, the defense now, they've put their team in an opportunity to pad their lead with more points here at the end of the first half.
To the air on 1st down. Got it behind the line. It's Peoples. That completion will take them inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Quarterback keeps it. And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle. The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. 3rd down. They can't pick up the first without score. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Ohio State.
And we are officially in blowout mode. This offense has been up and down the field. We've seen so many explosive plays, and they score again before going in at halftime. Guys, I'm hoping we can have a running clock here in the second half.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Martin. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. Shut down in the backfield again, and that might do it here in the half. And what a way for this defense to wind up the quarter. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Man, all week, the Buckeyes and Nittany Lions tried to bottle up their emotions, but things just boiled over in that first half. And there's no more fitting place to begin than with this stud receiver and how he's dominated the first half. Some guys have the ability to elude and evade. This young man is a true three-level threat. Short passes, the intermediate game, and then the deep ball. He is a problem, and I don't think this defense has the solution. Still 2 quarters to go in this incredible regional showdown between two of the winningest programs in football.
The Nittany Lions will line up to kick off and start the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Not sure they had to adjust much as they'll try to build on this lead. First play from scrimmage here in the second half, and they'll keep it on the ground. Solid run, picks up 6 and gets it to the 28.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
And the Buckeyes are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Dropping back, it's St. Clair. Under fire. They get to him as he throws. There he goes. Touchdown, Buckeyes. And once he got away from the D, they had no shot at catching him. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
And they did tack on that extra point with the kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He'll bring it out. It's Davis. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. Got a man. It's Denmark. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. The Nittany Lions can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. He's knocked down behind the line of scrimmage again, and this just hasn't been his day. Nowhere to run.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. And we talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now what's your counterpunch? How are you going to get the ground game going? Because so far, not a lot of success.
He'll get away another punt. He's been really active today, and no doubt he's going to earn his varsity letter. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They've been dominant, and now they'll try to execute to their own standard. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play.
All right, great little run there. Listen, it wasn't phenomenal. He didn't get a first down, but what does it do? Now it makes second down easier. The play caller looking at his sheet going, all right, I can throw it, I can run it, still in a great position. Way to stay ahead of the chains.
They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run.
Well, they want to come out and try to get the run game established, but up front defensively, they made a play. They gave up nothing on that one.
Got to find some breathing room. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. The Buckeyes decide to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around. To throw, it's Sorsby. Makes the grab. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he's stopped, and it'll be first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down. He'll loft one deep down the left side. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
Well, you can see the frustration on this guy's face. He's one of the best receivers in college football, and they knew coming into this game that he had to get touches, but you can't say enough about how good this defense has been defending him. They've always had an answer, whether it's single coverage, double coverage, man or zone. They have not let him go off, and that's a big reason why they're winning this game.
Now this offense facing a 3rd and long from their own 30. From the gun, wants to pass. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made. After an abysmal first half, goose egg on the scoreboard, the offense trying to find itself. It's first down. Missed receiver there, it's incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Caught in the backfield, it's Turner. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on you.
They'll try to get outside. And they did not let him reach the line to gain. It'll bring up a decision here.
Yeah, and that's a really good job by the defense, because when you get in that 3rd and medium area, listen, you got to be worried about the run and the pass. Did a good job playing both, got it stopped, now forcing a 4th down.
On 4th down, trying to find his man. Got his man. Slippery slide, find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Nittany Lions.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. And even after that last score, still working with a great big cushion. Got the quick completion. He's knocked out of bounds, but not before he gets it to the 25.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
He got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it, and what a time that would have been for their first pick of the game.
And there's so much for a quarterback to think about. Stick it out in the belly. Do I pull it? Now when I pull it, I got to get my feet set, make an accurate throw to the right guy. So a lot of things going on, and I think that you saw that led to a little bit of inaccuracy.
QBs and receivers on 3rd down, everything has to happen just a split second sooner. You're expecting pressure, the quarterback gets hit, just not on the same page with his target.
And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground. This drive will get underway from just inside the 35 at their own 34. The lone back's got it. Hard running there. They can rely on this guy to pick up solid yardage when they need it, and he's out to the 43. The Nittany Lions have a lot of options on 2nd and inches. They'll run it from the gun. Sweet cut there. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground. Offense threatening at the 45-yard line on 1st and 10. Caught in the backfield, it's Reynolds. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. On the run, it's Turner. Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run. Well, guys, Ohio State has the lead here. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th. After swapping ends of the field, that gave them a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Stands in and takes the hit. And he can't make the connection on his first attempt. Let's see if he settles down.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
And that decision will be questioned for a while.
Okay, ready? 42, Spider. 691, Gator score.
Running back searching for a hole. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line. A loss of 1. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Here's the handoff. And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
The Buckeyes will line it up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, the inside give. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33.
It was so important this offense was able to find a way to get in the rhythm, and the running game is now helping that. 2 straight punts on their previous 2 drives. This drive, though, they're having a little bit more success. Big reason why is this running back. He's been able to find some creases to run through, and it's really helping out this offense.
Gives it on the option. Not a whole lot of room as he gets a couple inside the 30 to the 29.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
They want that clock to run. They stop him right at the 25-yard line. That's well short of the first down, certainly in field goal range, but let's see what they do here. This is makeable field goal range here, but it looks as if they'll go for it on 4th down. They're throwing for it on 4th down. Makes a grab past the marker. Got enough to move the sticks. 1st down from the 17. No hesitation, no trying to baby the ball in there. He just fired it complete.
4th down, no problem. I'm just going to rip this to my wide receiver.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total.
And what can you say about this offense in this game? All season long, they've done enough to win week in, week out. Hasn't always been pretty. They haven't always brought their A-plus game to the park. But they won a shootout today. Both offenses trading blows back and forth, and they were able to come out on top. And the offense, to me, is the reason they're still undefeated today.
Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. On the move, it's Martin. Powers through the defender. Defenders everywhere as he is stopped for a loss of 5.
Yeah, and this offense, man, it's been a struggle bus. And they haven't clicked yet. They haven't found what they're really, really good at. And I'll tell you this, it's later in the fourth quarter, later in the game, obviously. They need to start airing this thing out. We got to get back in this football game because I don't know if y'all realize this, but we're down by a lot. And I think this offense is all but surrendered, right? Like they're down so much. They need to be throwing the football if they want to score a bunch of points to get back in this game. But they got to find something moving forward, man. This was a rough day. This was not a great offensive performance. They got to bounce back the next opportunity, the next moment. Because today, oof, it was not a good day.
Caught behind the line. It's Martin. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down. And the Nittany Lions will punt it away on 4th down. He'll try to really get into this one. This is a spot you see many returners try to take a chance, but not this time. The fair catch just inside the 40. Quarterback's just going to take a knee. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? And they'll take a knee. Running out the clock seems to be a mere formality here as they are ready to snap it in victory formation. Happy with the situation, the quarterback will take a knee. With Ohio State once again taking down Penn State in this one, the Nittany Lion fans left to wonder what might have been. That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation